on what you do for the next 2 years. Now notice we have all this money that got wasted before. Where did it go? Well, there's two places it goes. Number one, it goes to product research and development. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And the other place it goes is right here to you, the distributor. The people who actually get involved with the business. All this money that you use, because see, sometimes you could go to the store, you could buy a box of cereal for $3.50. The actual cereal, the cost of that cereal might be 40 cents, 35 cents. What is all the rest of that money? It's all this wasted layers of distribution. So see, that isn't necessary anymore. So that money gets freed up, and because you are a pioneer of the industry, because you are somebody with a vision and a dream, and you're willing to trade the 7 to 10 hours a week to get the dream, you are going to cash in about that. I want to sketch out how the business really works, so you get an idea how the money takes place and how you can participate in that. I guess, is this? I think this is, I found the secret. You do it a little different here down under. All right, let's talk about how you make money in the business. You, not me, not them, you. How do you make money? Well, you got a dream. You're willing to trade 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 to 4 years to get your dream. So you sponsor in the business. Okay, you make that commitment. Your sponsor says, all right, I'm going to work with you, train with you. What we're going to do is we're going to help you identify, and I'll use this as an example, 6 people who you know who have a dream and would be willing to trade 7 to 10 hours a week to get the dream. Fair enough? Everybody follow me so far? Everybody follow me so far? All right, just making sure you're not nodding off over there. All right, now let's suppose that everybody involved in the business produces a volume this first month that you get involved in the business of $100. Now notice I didn't say $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000. I said just $100. Why? Because I want to show you this is very simple, very duplicatable, very doable for everyone. The secret of this business is leverage. We have a lot of people doing a little bit, just 7 to 10 hours a week. So now if you and each of the 6 people you introduce into the business produce a volume of $100 the first month, you'd have $700 worth of volume in your organization, right? Now, we have a lot of different companies represented here tonight. There's all kind of different pay plans. But I think you're going to find as an average, what you're going to see in the business is you can make about 10% of what your organization does in volume. So if you had 6 people plus yourself, everybody did $100, you'd have $700 volume, so you'd make $70 your first month in the business. Now you say, come on, Gage, you brought me here for $70 a month. I can't even wash my Lamborghini for $70 a month. I understand. But see, believe me, I understand. I know what it's like to keep cars clean. But this is just month number 1. And how much, if you're a doctor, and by the way, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an accountant, you know what plan you work under? Trading time for money. Just like the bus boy at the Denny's restaurant, the doctor, the lawyer, the accountant, trading hours for dollars, same thing. So how much did you make when you learned to be an accountant? You probably went to school for 10 years. While you learned to be a nurse, when you learned to be a doctor, when you learned to be a lawyer. Think how many, you didn't make anything. So don't be crying about your lousy $70 here, okay? Because you're learning the business. Because look what happens next. Now the second month, we're going to say, we're going to help you help your people. We're going to teach you that duplicatable system to teach your people. And we're going to have them, now we're going to say they're not quite as bright as you are, okay? They didn't quite get this as good as you did. So they each got 5 people that they're introducing to the business, all right? Now, of course, it will not work out exactly this way, because I know some of you accountants there are sitting there thinking, okay, this guy might only get 4. Don't worry about that. I'm just making an example. So you got the 6, and this 6 each got the 5. Well, that would put 30 new people in your organization. Plus you still have the 6, plus you got you. So now, the second month, you'd have 37 people, each doing $100. How much would that be? $3,700, right? So 10% of that would be how much? $370. Now you say, okay, $370 is a nice little pin money, but it still isn't going to buy my Lamborghini. I understand that. But that's just month number 2. Because all of a sudden, look what happens. There's 36 other people who are, now they're not working for you, they're working for themselves. So they're not calling in sick, they're not stealing paper clips to take home, okay, none of this stuff. They're all working for themselves, right? Now, what happens when we duplicate the process and we say, now we're going to teach them how to teach their people? And you say, well, how do you do that? We've got a complete step-by-step duplicatable system to show you how to do that. You're going to teach your people how to teach their people. So we say, what if those 5 each just got 4? Now, why I'm doing this? Because I want to be really, really conservative. If I showed you what could really happen, I'm afraid you might swallow your teeth. So I'm going to be very conservative. So now if the 30 people each just got 4 people, now we'd have 120 new people in the organization. They don't work for you, they work for themselves, 7 to 10 hours a week, they're building a dream. 120 plus the 30 plus the 6 plus you, that's 157 people. Everybody just doing, not $1,000 a month, not $10,000 a month, not $100 lousy dollars a month does $15,700 income or volume, which means your income for month number 3 would be $1,570. Now all of a sudden we have a little money, we could play with something. We could do something with $1,500 a month. Do you know how many bankruptcies would be avoided with $1,500 a month? I would make a bet to say of all the personal bankruptcies, and there's been a record year for personal bankruptcies the last 6 or 7 years in a row. Every single year has broke the record from the year before. And I had someone very close to me did this just a couple of years ago. And I'm telling you, I bet 90% of them would be eliminated with $1,500 a month. In fact, 90% of them would probably be eliminated with $300 or $400 a month. Just this much, the $370 a month, would help most people that they could just start paying down their credit cards instead of paying those minimum balances every month. By the way, do you know how long it takes to pay off your credit card if you're paying the minimum balance every month? 10 years? 20 years? 30 years? 40 years. That's how long it takes. So if you're paying the minimum payment every month, get happy, because in 2042, you're all paid off. All right, now we're going to go down one more level. Now we're going to say, what if the 4 people each just work with 3 people? Now again, everybody's not going to do it this way. Some are going to do it more, some are going to do it less, but I just want you to see how it works. Now the 120 people each do 3 people. That give us 360 people, plus the 120, plus the 30, plus the 6. This comes to how many? Somebody help me. I'm a high school dropout. 500 and something. 517, is that right? Who's here? Somebody good in math? So 517 times 100 is $51,700 volume in your little business that you got no employees, no office, no overhead. You're running this from your kitchen table or your spare bedroom or your hallway or your closet. And you're doing $50,000 volume a month. Do you understand? We can leave this hotel. We can go down the street, Elizabeth Street. We can go onto Oxford Street. We can go to Liverpool. And we can find shop after shop, beauty salon after beauty salon, store after store, dry cleaner that are not doing $50,000 volume a month. And you're doing it out of a part-time business, 7 to 10 hours a week. Why? Because you're using leverage. Do you get this? Yes! Because, I mean, do you really, really get this? Yes! Because, let me tell you a secret. If you get this, you're not going to sleep very well tonight. Believe me, I have spent many a night just laying on the pillow, looking at the ceiling, and seeing 6 get to 5, get to 4, get to 3. Okay? If you understand this, now we're talking $5,170 a month. Now you know what? I did that in 4 months. It said 1, 2, 3. What if you didn't do that in 4 months? What if it took you 6 months? What if it took you 10 months? What if it took you 2 years? I told you it's a 2 to 4 year plan. Okay? And I know what some of you are thinking. All right, but what about if this guy here drops out? We got it handled. Okay? We have a thing called dynamic compression, and so we know when someone drops out, we eliminate that volume, we move up the next qualified person, and the whole organization moves up. So we got that covered too. Okay? So, but what if you didn't do this in 6 months? What if you didn't do it in 10 months? What if it took you 2 years? Would it be worth trading 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 years to have an extra $5,170 a month? Yes or no? Aren't you glad you got the front row, baby? Now, let me get some more water here. And let me ask the question again. Would it be worth trading 7 to 10 hours a week for 2 to 4 years to get an extra $5,170 a month? Yeah! All right. Thank you. That's a little better. That's what I'm talking about. When you get this, when you really get this, you're not going to sleep tonight. Because you see how a dishwasher from a pancake house could become a multimillionaire. You see how a farmer's wife from Utah could make $80,000 US a month. You see how a woman with 2 kids and an abusive husband could leave her husband and become a multimillionaire. You see how people on welfare can build complete financial independence. And they can do it with integrity. They can do it with honor. They can do it with helping other people, giving value, contributing. That's what we got to offer here. So see, now you say, okay, all that sounds good, it looks good, but what's the problem? What is the $100? Well, I told you, remember that whole distribution model? We have all of that money that used to get wasted. Now that goes into product research and development. You will see some of the most cutting-edge, state-of-the-art products in network marketing that you won't see anywhere else in the world today. Some of the best scientific breakthroughs, some of the best health breakthroughs, some of the best wellness breakthroughs, medicine breakthroughs, herbal breakthroughs have been personal care products, environmentally non-toxic, natural products. Some of the most breakthrough products in all of those categories have been brought to the marketplace because of network marketing, because they have the time, the money, the research, the resources to do that kind of research. So what I'm going to ask you is, if you're here, you're looking at this for the first time tonight, if you're on the video and you're seeing this for the first time tonight, you have a conversation with the person who invited you here. Have a conversation with the person who asked you to watch the video. And they will give you a catalog. They'll give you some brochures. They might have some tapes, some videos, some other things, and you'll find out about these products. What I want you to see tonight, right now, is the big picture. How the distribution model works, because this is how fortunes are made. People who recognize new paradigms become pioneers in those paradigms, and they reach the reward for generations sometimes. So the products are there. Next question is, say, what about the support? I don't know anything about this business. I've never done it before. How can I do the business? Well, that's what the system, we keep talking about a system. In other words, we've got a system where we're going to teach you how to do the business, and we're going to teach you how to do the business while you actually do the business. That's why we've got this presentation up on the internet. That's why we have this meeting in this hotel here tonight. You have a sponsorship line. So you see, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be this guy here. I want to be this guy right at the top, because look at all these people he's got under him. Well, you know what? This guy or this gal down here, this person and this person and this person and this person, and all the way up to the company, all those people work for that person for free. Because every one of those people have a vested interest in their business. So you want to have 150 people between you and the company, because they all work for you. So they will go with you and they will do two-on-ones with you. They will go to your prospects and sit down at a coffee shop and bring a notepad and explain the business to them. They'll conduct meetings like this where you can bring your people and let them see what the business is about. They'll bring in speakers from all over the country and sometimes all over the world. So your prospects can see and meet and learn from some of the most successful people in the business. There's conference calls, there's monthly newsletters, there's regional trainings, there's company conventions, there's audios and videos and brochures and booklets and catalogs. There is just hundreds of little tiny things that are all designed for one particular goal in mind, to make you people in the third year and you will be making a fortune. Put 5 serious people in the fourth year, you'll have a business worth at least $1 million, I project. Put 5 more the next year and you're going to have a business worth a couple $1 million in 5 years. Why? Because we got residual income here. You're building leverage. You're getting this going. And that's what I want you to get. You know, and now I've been able to help people all over the world. I told you guys, the platinum people, I talked in the reception about the 3 kids from Norway who came to a program I did in 1998. And they're all multimillionaires now, all 3 of them. Number 1, number 2, number 3 payout in their company. I think of you guys right here in the front row and what you've done the last couple of years. And you know the people I had in London, those people there, what they're doing there. I've got people all over the world. Just, they got a dream. They're willing to trade it. We give them a system to follow and they're living their dreams. I think of a lady named Mary in Colorado. Lady I mentioned earlier. 2 kids. She's sleeping in her friend's basement because she's on welfare. Divorced, no husband anymore, no one to help pay for her kids. So she was on welfare. And along the way, she got attracted to the business. Along the way, I was able to touch her and touch her life, show her some things, how to follow a duplicatable system. She built an organization making $30,000 US a month. Now, you know, the $30,000 US a month, I'm okay with that because you can get by on that. I couldn't get by on that, but I know a lot of people could get by on that. But you know what? It's not the 30,000 that gets me so excited about what Mary did. It's what Mary did. It's the example she does for her 2 kids. Okay? It isn't just the money. It's what, I mean, do you know what that means to those kids to see this woman who was on welfare and just desolate and nowhere to turn, and you meet her today and she is so well dressed and positive in her esteem and she's so confident and she is modeling this behavior and setting such an example for her kids. This is how you raise good kids, is you show them how to be successful yourself. You don't tell them grow up and get an education, grow up and be successful, grow up and make money. You model the behavior for them. Jan Rue, who a lot of you know, I've done programs with Jan. Here's a lady, same thing, abusive husband, divorced, 3 kids, I think, became the #1 payout in her company. Why? Because she had a dream, and she was willing to trade that 7 to 10 hours a week to get a dream. And we've got the model here where you can do that. There is no limit to what you can do. But I don't want to talk about my story anymore. I don't want to talk about Jan's story. I don't want to talk about Mary's story. I don't want to talk about Orion's story. I want to talk about your story. I don't want to talk about my dreams, Jan's dreams. I want to talk about your dreams. You know, go back to where we said earlier. Is there, did this kind of thing, if you did this in 6 months, a year, 2 years, is there something on your list of 5 things you do have or become you could do with the down payment, with what we're talking about there? And if not, how big is your dream? How are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to live your dreams? Because if you are, we've got the business that will allow you to do that. So I got a couple questions for you, and then I'm out of here. I'm looking for 1-word answers. Question number 1. Do you believe you're really worthy of success?
Yes!
Question number 2. Are you really willing to live your dreams?
Yes! Baby!
And question number 3, the last question, and I'm looking for a 1-word answer once again, and you better blow the roof off this joint because that's it, and I'm out of here. Because all of this, all of these numbers, all these things, it all goes back to this one circle. These are not circles. Every one of these represents a person. And this circle right here represents you. And this thing only works if you believe in you. If you believe you are worthy. If you believe you have a dream. If you're worth that dream. If you're willing to trade that 7 to 10 hours a week to live that dream. If you're willing to not let your dream die. You're not willing to sit down and cry. Even if you have to sit down. I had to sit down and cry. But you're not willing to give up and let it die. You promise yourself, you make yourself, you commit yourself to give it one more try. So the last question I'm asking you is based on everything we've talked about tonight, everything you know about this business now, everything you know about the person who invited you, everything you know about you and what you are and what your dreams are. I need to know, are you willing to give it one more try? Yes! Thank you. Good night, everybody.